Hey there, brilliant people. So today I'm actually going to be starting a new series because it's one I've actually sort of been asked about, which in this series I'm going to be telling you 5 things that I wish somebody had told me. And I'll be doing that on various subjects. So if there is a subject that you wish I would tell you 5 things about, put it in the comments below and I will get to it. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about a subject that affects actually a lot of intuitive people. Because being intuitive is, well, it's a form of being quite sensitive in the sense that you're aware of much more subtle things than most people are aware of. So today I'm going to talk about 5 things that I wish someone had told me about being a highly sensitive person. So the first thing I wish someone had told me is that it is actually normal. Now, it may not be normal for everybody, but it is normal for your system. In the same way as a racing car is actually far more sensitive, it's far more finely tuned. It has, it can go really fast, but it is also very sensitive insofar as, you can see them spin out of control and crash if they get the wrong kind of thing happening. You turn the wheel too fast, you take the corner badly, it gets wiped out. So yeah, you don't see that happening to a tractor, and it happens much less normally to like a normal car. No, a tractor is much stronger, it's steadier, it's more reliable, it has great attributes, but it isn't that sort of high performance system. So when you're a highly sensitive person, that sensitivity is normal because you have a high performance system. But, so we're coming to number 2. The second thing that I wish that people had told me is that in order to actually make the most of your high performance system, you need to actually first get some robustness or stability with that sensitivity. So in other words, if your racing car spins out of control, you need to have a way that you can actually take hold of the spin and get back on track and get back into the race. Now, there are ways to do it. There are ways that I talk about in my book, The Soul's Brain. There are other ways that are listed on this channel, but essentially, one of the main ways is you want to learn how to complete all of the input that comes in that causes you to be a sensitive person. So the third thing I wish someone had told me is that once you do harness it, you will discover that your sensitivity is your superpower. So sure, when the sensitivity, when you're in the middle of constantly crashing because of your sensitivity, it can feel like a huge liability. But that's because you haven't actually learned how to work with your system. You're trying to drive your high performance system, your racing car, as if it is that tractor or just a normal street car. And so because of that, you're not getting the results that you could get. But once you learn to work with your system, you can find that your sensitivity is your superpower because it means that you have the ability to be aware of a lot of things that a lot of people aren't. So the fourth thing that I wish someone had told me about being a highly sensitive person is that robustness comes from developing a reliable way, like your go-tos, like when you are in that crashing mode, when the car's spinning around, figuring out whether you come and see me, or you find a good coach, or you find the person who can help you figure that out, or trial and error yourself. But you need to find a system, something that is reliable, that helps you get back to you. Now, one of the things that I teach is about acknowledgement and completing the cycles of either thought or emotion or energy. So that's really important. But see, because once you can get back on track, well, then you can go much, much faster. You can actually start to use your highly sensitive system as the high performance system that it is, because you'll start to develop a lot more trust and confidence in your system. Because yeah, that sensitivity may still sometimes, impact you. Yeah, sometimes it is a bit much, particularly sort of at the moment when there's a lot of very stressful things going on in the world. It can be a bit much. However, when you have some things that are reliable, that you can use those things to get yourself reset, it allows you to do much more, because the times when you lose that control, you're not so concerned about them. They don't have the same kind of fear or stress around them, because you can get yourself back onto the racetrack, back in the game, much more efficiently, because you have those things that reliably do that for you. And the fifth thing that I wish that somebody had told me is, once you've figured out what those things are, do them every day, or at least as often as you can. Well, actually do them every day. But in order for you to do them every day, they can't just be big things. So sure, I mean, if you take a week off work and you go on retreat into the forest, that certainly works for me. Yeah, that will get you reset. For some people, it's, they need a sea fix. I need a tree fix. So, but whatever kind of fix works for you. And that's great, but you can't do that every day. You can't take off every week from work, or at least most of us can't. Anyway, so you need to find the big things that really help, but you also need to find the little things that help. So for me, one of the things that helps is if I start my day in silence every day. So what does that mean? That means that when I get up, I have an electric toothbrush, but I don't even really turn it on for the first time I brush my teeth. If I do boil the kettle, I tend to walk out of the room, so I'm not even hearing that. I do, this much yoga. I actually do a little bit of house cleaning, believe it or not. But I do that almost as a meditation. And I don't look at my phone and I'll do anything like that. So that enables, that little bit of silence in the morning enables me to get set. Now, obviously, if you've got kids and things like that, that's a bit tricky. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in the morning, but finding some time in the day that you can spend in silence, or, whether that's by going for a short walk for yourself, or taking a cup of tea or a cup of coffee into a private space. Like little things that you can do every day that support your system. Find those things, do those things, and by having a supportive system like that, you will be able to then start to use your highly sensitive system as the high performance, the superpowered system that it is. And of course, that means that you will be able to start to realize you're brilliant. So do that. Until next time, remember that you're brilliant.